That gets your blood to going, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So, today's talk is called Listen to the Music. Have you been listening? Yeah. Oh my God. Were you all partying last night or something? How many of you were partying last night? Some Christmas party. Okay, well, bring it on here. So, today's talk is Listen to the Music. So I'm going to start with the first song that Jamie sang tonight, which is It's Gonna Be the Best Day of My Life. So last week, I felt like I was coming down with something. Anyone over the season feel like you're coming down with something possibly? No, who's going to admit it? You're in a religious science church. So anyway, I don't care. I don't think that. I'm not thinking that. But you know what? I actually thought, oh, I'm coming down with something. And when I actually said it to myself, because you know, you do talk to yourself, right? It's like, oh God, I'm coming down with something. I was like, coming down. I thought to myself, how about going up in consciousness? Right? Think about that. Every time I think to myself, oh, I'm coming down, I say, no. It's time to go up in consciousness. Right? So my body was telling me something. My body was telling me that something's up here. Right? And I'm trying to tell my body something. I'm trying to say to my body, look, I don't have time to be sick. Right? And then I hear my body say back to me, then do something to be healthy. So I'm like, I don't have time to be sick. Then do what you have to do to be healthy. Don't you hate it when your mind talks back to you like that with such sarcasm? You just want to smack yourself. Right? So, and you're like, how dare you talk to me like that? I am trying to tell you what to do. Don't you tell me what to do. But sometimes the universe is telling you what to do, isn't it? It's telling you, slow the heck down. Slow down, take care of yourself, get healthy. So of course I didn't, because I was too busy to do that. But I did say to myself, I don't have time to be sick, okay, I will do whatever I need to do to be healthy. And I looked at my week ahead and I thought, okay, I'm teaching 2 classes this week, both classes. I'm teaching a practitioner class that I love. I'm teaching a class in Proof of Heaven, which I am absolutely loving. Then I have to fly to New York. I have to get on a plane, fly to New York. I have to teach the final lecture in New York of my 4-month series. And then, of course, I have to spend a lot of time with a lot of friends in New York because that's what we do when I go there. So I have all these obligations this week, right? So I was like, okay, so take time to be healthy through all of it. Take time to go up and be healthy through all of this, which means everything has to go up in consciousness. So, one of the things we say in CPR is best day ever. Best day ever. And we realize that best day ever is not waiting around to see if this is going to be a good day. Best day ever is a decision. It's an intention. It's a no. This is the best day ever. So, here's what happened. I step into New York, and I get through. First of all, Monday night's practitioner class was awesome. We didn't finish till 10:30 because no one shut up. Everyone just kept talking and questioning. It was just, right, Connie? Yeah. So everyone just kept exploring and exploding. It was great. Even though I was like, when I went into the class, I was like, you know what, I'm going to end it early tonight, take care of myself. Yeah, that happened. So, and then the Wednesday night class, the Proof of Heaven class, is so expansive. Is Reverend Nancy? Reverend Nancy's in the other room. Bob, Marcy, just what we're doing in that class, what the ideas that are coming up in that class are beyond anything we've ever talked about here at this center in such an amazing way. So that class went a little bit long. And so there I was in the middle of that class. And then I knew the next day I was getting on a plane. But can I tell you that by the time I woke up on Thursday morning to get on a plane, I actually felt full of energy. My body felt better. I felt better. I got a great seat on the plane. It was just terrific. The whole flight, everything about this trip to New York went incredibly well. Now, there's a great lyric in Jamie's song, and it's best day of my life, and then it says, in the golden sun or the snowy white. And I thought to myself, oh my God, I'm leaving the golden sun to go to what the weatherman is saying is going to be quite a snowy white. And how many people here love snow? How many people live here because they don't like snow? Okay, got it. So I'm one of those people that love the snow. I absolutely love the snow, which is why next Friday I will be going to Palm Springs, which I also love the heat. Talk about the golden sun and the snowy white, right there in Palm Springs. You're on the ground, you're in the golden sun. You take the tram up to the top of the mountain, and you're in the snowy white. And it's awesome. So I get to New York, and the last class of my series. And I was thinking to myself, well, I don't know who's going to show up. Because first of all, the weather it was so biting. And then I thought, I don't know who's going to show up, but the right people will show up. And it's a Friday night, and it's Christmas season, so everybody has a party to go to. But there was an incredible group of people there. And the awareness in the room, and I've shared this before, going into other centers and talking about this stuff, and Patrick's right, saying I am God to people that aren't used to hearing that is interesting, to use the word that's probably the best word. But this has been 4 months of this, and I want to tell you, I am God has been not only embraced, but lived. And sitting in that room, standing in that room, and Kevin was at this one with me, standing in that room and watching people not only want to understand this thing, I am God, but watching them yearn for it, long for it, that there's something inside of them. And I know that that's the same for all of us. I am God, to be a moniker, to be that which we walk not only into, but from. I am God. And the workshop was just spectacular. And Reverend Jonathan came down from Toronto, and Rick Tamlin came in from upstate New York. So you had all three of us in the room. And I was supposed to talk for an hour. It was a 2-hour workshop, and I was supposed to talk for an hour. And then Jonathan would talk for 15 minutes, and Rick would talk for 15 minutes, and then we would take, half hours of questions between the three of us. So when I finished speaking an hour and 40 minutes later, I don't know what happened. It's just, yeah, right. You've all been in classes with me, you know. So, and the room was just like already levitated, but I said, you know what, I asked these guys to talk tonight. So then Jonathan got up to talk. It was so exciting to watch one of my students, who's now, the spiritual director in Toronto, get up and speak, and I was uplifted. And then Rick got up and spoke after him. And when Rick spoke, he's speaking about IBM and Microsoft and Apple, so we're going into a whole different direction, but not. And so Rick did this diagram on the board, and I'm sitting there like chomping at the bit, because I'm like, that's the same diagram I would use in spiritual sense, but he's doing about Apple. And I finally went, I gotta get up. So I got up, and then Rick went back, and we were like, we were bouncing off the walls, and people were like, are you gonna open a church like this? And I was like, no. But it was such an amazing evening of watching God in every single person in the room just bounce all over the room. It was so fascinating. The next day when I woke up, yesterday morning, I woke up to a blizzard. Kevin and I. Well, first of all, on Friday night, we were out, and Jonathan comes over to me with his cell phone and says, I have been snowed in. I can't get back to Toronto till Monday, with this big gleeful smile on his face. And he looked at me, he said, I think you're going to be snowed in too. And I was like, I can't be snowed in. I have to be back for Sunday service. He said, well, Patrick's there. Patrick will do it. Little did I know Patrick was treating that I was snowed in. So, but as luck would have it, because there is no such thing as luck, I was not snowed in, because I'm standing here. But the snow. Oh, first of all, we stay in this apartment that's the 41st floor of a high-rise overlooking, you can see Central Park and Lincoln Center, and it's all glass. It's all windows. So when we woke up, although I pull the shade up, and there's this blizzard, and it's just, I'm like, I wake up like a kid on Christmas morning. I was like, oh my God, snow! And I was like, all of a sudden, I'm in my clothes and out the door, because I had made plans to meet a friend of mine at 9 a.m. So I was like, Kevin's like, oh, Jim, it's a blizzard. You really want to go out there? I went, yes! So I get all dressed up, and I go, and of course, because I'm a little directionally challenged, much like the pirates in Yo-Ho-Ho, A Pirate's Christmas, because we always write what we know about. I somehow thought that to get to 57th, I'm at 60th in Amsterdam, 60th in Columbus. To get to 57th and 7th, I thought the best way to do that would be take 60th Street all the way up to Central Park West, and then walk all the way over Central Park West, only landing myself at 6th Avenue, coming all the way down. So it took me forever, but through the snow, because I always believe that whatever journey I end up on is the journey I'm meant to take, thus making excuse for my directionally challenged existence. So it was so amazing, and it snowed, by the way, all day, and there was snow everywhere. One of the things in Jamie's song he says is, going to use my love as a fashion. Going to let my love be an action, and it's going to be the best day of my life. Coming down Columbus Avenue, everyone smiled at me. Everywhere I went, people were smiling at me. And I'm in New York City, where I always say, I wish people would just look occasionally at you. And no, it was like everywhere I went, someone was like, and I know what they were saying. They were all like, it's snowing. And it was just the most amazing feeling. And I had just had that great class and these great classes here all week. And then the snow, and literally, I felt like my heart was bursting out of my chest. I was just like, this is the best day ever. Now, you probably think I'm going to say, and then a cab splashed on me or something. No. No. It continued to be the best day ever. All day. I got home. We went to an incredible breakfast. I got back. Kevin and I got ready. We went to the airport. Our flight was on time. It was a beautiful flight. We got here. The weather was beautiful. We got home. Patrick Farron had wine ready for us. It was just the best day ever. From the sunny day of LA all the way through the winter snow of New York and back again. The best day ever. The best week ever. But I want you to notice something here, which is that it started with, I'm coming down with something. I want you to picture my week if I had let myself come down with something. I would have let myself come down with whatever that was. I still would have forced myself through my classes. I still would have gone to New York feeling as though I've come down with something. And I still would have probably met my friend at 9 o'clock in the cold, probably thinking I was catching pneumonia or something. As I didn't see anyone smile at me, I would have made my way to the restaurant and said, here, hi, nice to see you, let's leave. It's a choice, isn't it? You have a choice. Best day ever is not what's going to happen to me maybe. It's a choice, it's a decision. And I really want to look at this idea of coming down and stepping up, because it's all about consciousness, isn't it? I am God. Great. I had a session this week and someone said to me, as I went to give an answer, he went, I know, you're going to tell me I am God. I said, well, in fact, I am going to say, you are God. I said, you are God. He said, I'd like to be God with more money. And I was like, wow, that's really, really good. Okay, I'm going to use that. I am God I'd like to be God with more money. Because here's the deal. I am God doesn't mean everything's vanished. All my problems and cares are all gone. I am God. It's all perfect now. That's not it. Because that's that kind of la-la land way of looking at this new thought. You know, everything's perfect, while life just crashes and burns around me and I pretend it's not. It's not, because I am God when it's crashing and burning. The question is, do I want to come down to this experience of God, or would I like to raise myself up to this experience of God? It's all God. If it's all God, and all I am is God, then I have to decide which experience of God I want to live. And I decided this week to have a really great experience of God. Decided to, in spite of what was going on, no matter what. And so I did. And it was amazing, though. When everybody was smiling at me all over the place, I literally did feel like I was in a musical comedy. I felt like, you know how, like, you ever see that show, Hairspray, when she starts the movie and she walks down the street and everybody's just singing? That's what it felt like. I felt like everyone was just going to burst out in song, and I'm sure I sang something along the way. So, lyrics in Jamie's song: we need no permission to live like we love it and love like we want to. We need no permission to live like we love it and to love like we want it. But you know what? We do. We need our own permission. And what Jamie's writing about is you don't need other people to tell you. You don't need other people's permission to live your life, to enjoy your life, to have the best day ever. But you do need your own permission. Because it's only you that stops you from having permission to live life that way. Right? So, here's the second song he just sang. There's a song in this house, and I'm going to find it. It's a song about love. It's a story of love. So today's talk is listen to the music. Here's what I've realized. Everywhere I go, we are in this house of song. When he says there's a song in this house and I'm going to find it, everywhere I go, I am in that house. If I'm in Starbucks, there's a song in that house and I'm going to find it. If I'm standing on this stage, there's a song here and I'm going to find it. If I'm in New York City, there's a song in that city and I'm going to find it. If I'm in Los Angeles, there's a song in this city and I'm going to find it. And most importantly, if I'm in this body, this mind, there is a song in me and I'm going to find it. Not out there, here. And as soon as I find it in here, I'm going to take it everywhere I go, and that's why there's a song in every house I walk into, because I bring it and I sing it. And I wing it. And I fling it. Dang it. So, yeah. So, there's a song in this room, there's a song in this city, there's a song in this country, there's a song in this world, there's a song in me, and I am a choice to hear it. So, I have a question for you this morning. What distracts you from hearing that music? What distracts you from hearing that music? What distracts you from finding the song? We did a great little exercise in the workshop on Friday night, and it was all about what distracts you. What distracts you from finding this music? What distracts you? Now, here's what's funny. Just when we were doing this song, just we were doing meditation earlier with Reverend Nancy, we're doing meditation, and did anybody hear, who was here in meditation? Raise your hand. Did you hear the dogs barking?
Yes.
Yeah, you did. Did you hear Namaste having a really fun time back here? Which is fine for now. Yes. And the lobby, people were very excited in the lobby. And all of a sudden I was like, wait, okay, so what are you listening to, James? Are you listening to the dogs or are you listening to the music? Because Jason had incredible music playing. Are you listening to the people back here or are you listening to the music of your mind? What are you listening to? What are you willing to let distract you? What distracts you from hearing the song of your life? What distracts you from living your best day ever? What distracts you? Because you're a choice. Everything in your life that's happening is happening because you chose it on some level. Now, when I say that in other rooms, like I did on Friday night, it's amazing what happens to people's faces. Because very often we don't really live that understanding that everything that's going on in my life, somehow I've chosen. Is there anything in your life you can point to and go, I did not choose that? I mean, now after what I said, you're probably like, I guess not. But there are things anything you wish you could point to and say, I didn't choose that? Yeah, okay? But we did on some level. But what that means is we can choose the music instead of the dog barking. So we get on the plane last night, and I don't know if you heard this, but that baby, I love babies. And there's one right up there. Oh, no, he's in the room now? Okay. I could have talked right through it, crying. So, I love babies. I do. And this baby was like making sounds like Reagan from The Exorcist. Was it? I was like, I think it's a baby, but there may be an alien on this plane, and it may get me. So I turned to look to make sure, and I turned around. It was like 2 rows behind us. Oh, yeah, that was it, 1 row. So it was 1 row behind us, and I turned around, and this baby's face was just purple and green and screaming, and the mother just looked at me, and I just smiled and went, it's okay. And I turned around and sat down, and all of a sudden I noticed my headphones sitting next to me. And I was like, why am I listening to that baby cry when I could pick up my headphones and listen to Jamie Lula or Karen Mitchell? Why don't I just put my headphones in and listen to some beautiful music? I am a choice here. Am I going to let myself be distracted by a crying baby who's only doing what it knows how to do and needs to do? Those dogs out there, they apparently needed to bark all during our meditation. So, all of this is coming back to, what do you allow distract you? Because guess what? Whatever that is, and even if it's your finances, even if it's your relationships, no matter what it is, you are letting it distract you on some level. And there's something else to turn to, and that's what Jamie has written about. There's a song in the house, and I'm going to find it. At any moment, you have spiritual headphones to put on and listen to the truth of your life. Listen to what's really there for you to hear. And it's not the dogs barking, and it's not the baby crying, and it's not the lack of finances, and it's not a disease. It's not any of the things that we let distract us. So, what I'd like to offer you this morning is, did anybody else find that we got close to Christmas really quickly this year? Yeah. It's like, what? Yeah. It's in how many days? It's in 10 days, right? Christmas is in 10 days. And I remember saying to myself in August, I'm going to write my Christmas cards out in September. That'll make that work this year. I don't know where September went, but I haven't written one Christmas card. Just so y'all know, I've written no Christmas cards. So I have something to offer you, which is this. So Jamie wrote this beautiful song, Gonna Be the Best Day of My Life. How about if we decide that this is going to be the best Christmas of our life? Because guess what? We can decide that. You don't have to wait to see how this Christmas works out. You don't have to wait to see if you got everything you wanted for Christmas. Did anybody see the thing on the internet about the airline?
Yes.
The airline that put up this
Perfect.
Christmas boot, and it asked people to stand in front of it and tell it what it wanted, like a Christmas stocking. And it asked you to just tell it what you wanted. So as a flight was getting ready to take off, the people on the flight were asked, please go up and tell it what you want. So they all got up and told them what they wanted. And all these people in the background were furiously getting every gift that was said ready, wrapped. And when they got off the flight, all of those gifts, before their luggage came out, all the gifts came out that they asked for with their names on it. How would you like to be on that flight? Those people, they got themselves some consciousness. Although I heard that one of the persons was like, why did I say I just wanted a little iPad? I should have said a Marley or something. It was Southwest, was it? No, which airline was it?
It was
JetBlue. Oh, the one I'm just... Which one? WestJet. And we're all like, oh my God, let's go fly somewhere. And they've done it for a few years. I just heard of it this year. Yeah. But what a great concept. And the whole point of this concept for this airline was to, obviously it's a marketing thing, but it's to, what a great example of the conscious mind. I speak my word, and there it shows up. And I may have to take a trip in between. I want you to think about this.
Yeah.
I speak my word into the law. The law says yes, but I may be required to take a little jaunt. And as I'm walking, just know I take it with me. And then when I get there, there it is. What a brilliant example of the law of cause and effect. So, today, I'm asking you, don't wait to see how Christmas is going to turn out. I'd like you to go up. Instead of coming down with anything, I'd like you to go up in consciousness today and decide that this Christmas is going to be the best Christmas of your life. And here's the deal. If any of you are sitting here saying, well, I would, but that guy in the green shirt doesn't know this that's happening in my life right now. You know what? I don't care what's happening in your life right now. Really, I got stuff in my life. I know it doesn't look like it, but I do. We all have stuff in our life, don't we? Anybody not got some stuff in their life? Good, bad, or indifferent? All God's chillin', Dr. Walker says. All God's chillin' got their stuff, right? So, that's not what matters. Your stuff's out here. Your thoughts are right here. Your beliefs are right behind it. And more importantly, and here's how we're going here in this church, even the beliefs, that's not the end of the story, folks. There's something behind the belief. There's something that actually believes the belief. There's that energy, that source, that power, that truth, that wisdom, that light, that love, that excitement, that passion. That is the thing that actually believes what it believes, to think what it thinks, to know what it knows, to decide what it decides, and to get what it gets. Did you all follow that? Because I'll go back and look at it and write it out. So this is where we need to go to. So when you say, I'm going to decide, this is the best Christmas ever. Okay, I proved it for you this week. I decided not to come down with something, but to go up to something in consciousness. I decided, and I didn't care. It was like no matter what. I don't care what my body is telling me. Although my body telling me to slow down and rest a little bit, that I listened to a little bit. It still overrides it, though. It does. Your mind can override any of the no matter whats. So are you ready to do that this Christmas?
Yeah.
Are you ready today to decide for yourself that this Christmas can be the best Christmas ever, and just start you on a journey to more best Christmases ever? Yes? Excitedly so? Passionately so? Like you can't wait to get out there and just celebrate Christmas because it's the best Christmas ever. And we're not waiting to see, are we? No. I see. There might be a few holdouts here, but that's okay. That's okay, because when we come back after Christmas, I'm going to ask every single person to get up here and tell us how their Christmas was. That'll be our service that day. It'll be pretty empty, but that'll be our service that day. Could you imagine? That would be so cool. That would be so cool to like have a testimonial. My Christmas was, blah, blah. That would be so cool. I'm not going to do that. But, so, going back to the title of this talk, listen to the music. Or the phone. Whatever you need to listen to. Listen to the music, listen to the phone ringing, whatever. Listen to the music. It's such a great song, Jamie. I really loved it. And it really spurred me on mentally, consciously, about this understanding that there's going to be music in every place I go, and I'm going to find it because I'm going to be it. And the holiday season, I've heard so many people say to me the things about, it's so difficult, I get so stressed at holiday, all these things. And it's like, no, it's a choice. It is a choice. You right now, today, here, in this moment, you are at choice. You, who's laughing? I heard someone go, I'm going to accept that as in you totally understand and agree with me. Yes? Was it you? That's what these intimate rooms are all about. You can't hide. You are a choice. You get to decide today what this season's going to be like for you. I know what this season is going to be like for me because I've already decided. And whatever shows up doesn't determine how good it is. I determine how good it is. And that's why it shows up that way. That's what we teach, isn't it? That's who we are. That's who we are as spiritual beings. I am God means that I get to decide. And as I speak, as I know the truth, so it is. That's the way it works. So as we step into these holidays, this holiday season even more joyously, I want to remind you all that next Sunday, on the 22nd, we are going to be doing Christmas caroling. And we have an open house at my house, me and Kevin. It starts at 5 o'clock. You show up, you bring something fun for everybody else to nibble on. I will have gluten-free things. And there will be cider and eggnog and then we will take the love we have out into the neighborhood and sing Christmas carols for everyone. And when you see the looks on the people's faces who open their doors in California and go, what? Wow, you guys must be from the north. Literally, because they're not used to that. It is amazing. There's so much you can do in your life, surprisingly different from the way you're doing it. Surprise yourself. Do something different. Do something unique. Do something amazing with your life, with your time. Why? Because not only can you, but you get to decide what that is. It's not only gonna be the best day of my life. It's not only gonna be the best Christmas of my life. I'm just going to follow one best day by another best day, by another best day, by another best day. And then by the time my life is over, I will realize I will have had the best life I could possibly have. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.